All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? Let me make sure I'm all okay. It looks like I'm not muted. Excelente. It is 5 p.m. West Coast time, 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. Looks like we've got a Central Time folk in the house right now. Rick, how's it? Good to see you. So glad you and Darlene are back and safe. I've got a couple pictures from your trip up north visiting eMusic, etc. But I gotta say, I'm not drinking it right now, but this is leftover from last night on my desk. Yes-siree. Cheers to you, my friend. That's right, PBR. It's nothing but the finest for Rick and I. Although later on in this stream, we're gonna be showing a video, a trailer for a documentary that's coming out about Rainier beer, also one of the finer beverages you can imbibe in when you're deciding to drink the beer. That's right. Water beer is the best beer, as far as I'm concerned. All right, we have got Darlene in the house as well, and it looks like Shock also here telling us that we have got the gear. That is super awesome, because that means if Twitch is being twitchy, then you can adjust the gear. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's going on with OBS, but I'm watching myself and I'm looking all quirky. So I don't know. I'm not dropping any frames, but I'm hoping I'm looking way better on your screen than I'm looking on mine, because mine is all like the visuals, man. There's tracers and stuff. And so let's see here. Kenny from the Cove in the house, saying he sent some stuff via email and messenger. All right, I'll have to double check that when we are done with this stream. But Pussycat is in the house. I am so glad to see you here, Pussycat. I was looking at the map right before we hit the stage, so to speak, and I didn't know where you were located, but all I was looking at on the map was, oh my, I hope that he's nowhere near where everything is. And let's see here, Jason Park 85, good to see you. Welcome to Chatter with Statter. I am Mad Statter, and you know what? Why don't we get this party started? All right. Hey, Jason, thanks for the 10 biddies. That is so sweet of you. Super stoked, dude. All right. So welcome to the fam, crew. We've got ourselves a new one. And let's see here. It looks like, what am I saying here? It looks like Pussycat is staying dry. And it also looks like Poppy Shaney is in the house and coming in for a quick hello, but got some things to do. And so now, he'll be going in and out of the stream. Jason, what a great question. Where is the guy from the Daily Pigeon Live? I think you're talking about Andy Boomatai. Andy Boomatai right now is on a break from streaming live because he has got a lot of super awesome irons in his fire. He's written, I think, 3 screenplays, and he's on the verge of having a 4th screenplay. And it sounds like one of the screenplays has actually been picked up by a television studio in Hawaii, and so they're actually in pre-production, perhaps even production, of that particular project. So right now, Andy doesn't really have a whole lot of time with some online streaming stuff because he's actually doing like he's got the big time stuff going on, like TV and everything. So we are missing Andy dearly, but we are also super stoked that he is getting out and letting his star shine bright for everyone to see. So if you want to hang out with a lot of the folks that used to hang out on Daily Pigeon Live, obviously you found one spot. That's here, Chatter with Statter. Photo Luke Live, Terry in Scotland. Let's see here. Shakalak's got a Discord channel on Fridays where we show movies. So the crew is holding together, even though Andy isn't necessarily here. When is he coming back on Twitch? Jason, I wish I could tell you. I honestly do not know. So, if anybody in the chat happens to know more about what Andy's time frame is, by all means, throw it out, because I think we're all curious, when is he going to come back to Twitch? I do know that he has said He will do some live streams, but I think at the moment he doesn't have time. And Shock, thank you so much. It's not on Shock's Discord that she runs the movies. It's on her Twitch channel that she runs the movies. Twitch, you know, where we're all at. I don't know why. I don't know how I kind of got that confused. But anyway, yeah, Pussycat, I'm sure you probably do have your flashlight and charged phone, but Darlene's asking if you do, and I really am hoping that you've got all of your things. I'm sure this is not your first rodeo, so to speak, with Hurricane Ian coming through your neck of the woods. But obviously, Hurricane Ian has literally the national attention. So you know. And yeah, you're locked in and loaded. Good on. It's the wind you're worried about. Yeah, really, that totally makes sense. You know, in Florida, homes are built very differently because they get those high force tropical winds. And then, of course, potential hurricanes. Pacific Northwest homes are not built the same way Florida homes are. And we definitely don't have the same... We got a lot of things on our houses that can get torn off in the wind because we're not built with wind protection in mind, right? So my house is like 60 years old, obviously built in the Pacific Northwest. And a few years ago, maybe a decade ago, we had winds that were like in the 70 to 90 mile an hour wind range. And I have to tell you, man, that was scary. I mean, like just listening to that wind howling and, you know, literally tearing through fences. I mean, yeah, you know, 25 inches of rain is a lot. And in a flat place like Florida, that's going to lead to some flooding. I hope that you've got some ground on your house that you can elevate yourself. But rain or not, I hear you, my friend. That wind is the scary, scary thing. Yeah, And it's, yeah, exactly. And that's Kenny's got exactly it. It's not necessarily that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Precisely. Yeah. That is exactly it. Like, like I said, it was tearing through fences. And yeah, some fences flew over a couple more fences to land in the another yard completely, right? Yeah, it's not the wind, it's what's in the wind. And your house is a concrete block. Fantastic. But your roof, yeah. Yeah, I hear you, my friend. When those winds were blowing in my neck of the woods, my roof was definitely, the two trees in front and my roof were my biggest concerns as I was huddled in my bed, listening to the wind scream outside. Because I'll tell you what, you guys, I don't know, obviously, everybody lives in different areas and everybody has different weather patterns, but in the Pacific Northwest, we generally don't get wind that is like 70 to 90 miles an hour. And I had never heard the shrieking and screaming that wind can make at that speed. It is unreal, frightening. Yeah. Okay, Pussycat, I'm going to write that down for future reference because I have a really bad memory. But your Ormond Beach. Okay, maybe I'm not going to write this down. There we go. You know how I feel about maps. I will be looking that up on a map. You know that. And, let's see here. Kenny, you've never heard the sound of a hurricane in real life, but I can tell you few things sound as horrible as a tornado bearing down on you. For sure. I've never heard a tornado. I've never heard a hurricane. Like I said, the only thing that I've ever really heard is those 70 to 90 mile an hour winds, which for people like, in Texas, or in the Midwest where the winds get, go sweeping down the plain, or people over in Florida, or all along the Gulf Coast, really. I'm sure that my 70 to 90 mile an hour wind horror story is like literally a moment to point and laugh. And, we do have an emoji for that. So let's pull that out. Haha, that's just a silly thing to be scared of. But I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit... Like I said, I'd never heard the wind howling, screaming, screeching, however you want to describe it. I'd never heard wind like that. Never. And so basically though, Pussycat, as long as you're going to be here on the stream, I'm definitely going to be super stoked. If you suddenly disappear, I don't think we're going to be too surprised because your power might have gone out and we're going to hope for the best, but hopefully, hopefully you'll be able to hang out for the rest of the stream, and at least we'll know for that amount of time you're safe. And the sky sounds very angry. Roaring wind, thunder, and lightning. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet. I hope that, yeah, I hope that it peters out real quick, but I don't think that the models are indicating that it will. And so Darlene's saying, yeah, we get tornadoes in Wisconsin, but not as bad as other places. And yeah, of course you're glad you've never been in one. Totally. And let's see here. eMusic, you experienced a hurricane. Oh, Hurricane Eva in Hawaii, loud winds. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And Kenny from the Cove, 70 to 90 mile an hour winds, even if they're straight line, are still something to worry about. Yeah, dude, I felt like it was something to worry about. And actually, for the Pacific Northwest, we've got so many huge trees near so many homes, like wind gusts let me start over. Sustained wind gusts of 70 to 90 is something that everybody in our area should be worried about because our trees aren't used to it. Luckily, I don't even know if I want to say these words again, but luckily my trees stayed firm, but I definitely was expecting to call my insurance company before the end of that night, let me tell ya. And yeah, Pussycat, you expected power to go out by tonight, so you're honestly, you're kind of ahead of the curve right now, right? You know, let's not jinx it, but yeah, I'm super stoked that you've got power. Because I think I was reading like a fork ton of people in your area are without power. So way to go, public utilities in your area. And yeah, 50 mile an hour wind sustained. I'm sure for you guys, it's like, something to be sort of concerned about, but you know, I might still go outside for a cigarette. But still, yeah, 50, no, that's a little too fast for my blood. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll drive 50 miles an hour, but I don't want the wind coming at me at 50 miles an hour. And speaking of which, this is so strange, little tangent of the mind. The other day, I was driving to work, and there was a tiny, tiny, tiny little spider on my windshield. And as I was driving on the freeway, the spider got like flatter and flatter on my windshield. And by the time I got off the freeway, I thought that the wind had like crushed it with such force because he was kind of like in this mangled, crushed position. But as soon as I got off the freeway, the little spider was like, I'm done. I'm going to go hide. I don't like that. I don't like that where I was. So, so yeah, the little spider didn't like the 50 mile an hour winds either. So let's see here. Kenny from the Cove, you've been blown into a bar ditch while driving, and let's see here. God dang it. By a gust. Oh wow, that would be so freaky to be blown. You know, I mean, I've been in crosswinds where you can feel the wind shaking your car. So yeah, nope. And really, Rick, an F1 tornado hit the corner of the city about 20 years ago. Wow, that's not friendly. And let's see here. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. Oh, your granddaughter's here, so you'll be more lurking than not. That's okay. We're all about the saying hello to the K crew folk. So no worries. And Pussycat, yeah, it's gonna get worse tonight. I have very little doubt what with the forecast, and it's heading this way by morning. Well, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully you have power the whole night. And Darlene, yeah, but there's the issue of bad winter snow and ice storms. Those are really scary. Oh my God, dude, ice storms are insane. We had a couple ice storms when I lived in Olympia, and yeah, in fact, one of the ice storms that I lived through in Olympia was probably the longest that I've ever been without power, because I mean, I can only assume that in areas that have a regular possibility for ice storms, they might have infrastructure that's more resilient. But the power lines in Olympia area, they were just so coated with heavy ice that they just snap. I mean, you know, there was power lines just down everywhere. It was they couldn't hold the weight of the ice, basically, and so you know, when the power lines are literally down, we're not getting a lot of power to places, as it were. And so, hey, Love Pat, good to see you on your break, I'm assuming, and Picola T lurking from the car. Hope all the gang is safe. Well, I think most of us are safe. We've got one person that we're not so sure about, but Pussycat currently Pussycat is currently safe. Currently safe, but you know, fingers crossed that remains the way throughout the evening and the like. So you know, while Pussycat is all hunkered down, I don't know what the ritual is in their house, but I do know that a lot of folks in the Louisiana, Florida Panhandle, at least area, have a habit of getting drunk during hurricanes. It's a hurricane party. Let's just all get wasted. So in the spirit of that, we are going to see a little, let's see, where did it go? We're going to watch a little trailer for a documentary for a movie that is going to be coming out about Rainier beer. And I know that Rainier beer is something that is not distributed everywhere now, but back in its heyday, Rainier was a pretty popular brand, and it actually had some pretty amazing commercials. Some of you guys in other parts of the country might not have seen them. One of the most iconic ones is when you think of Rainier beer, and in this area, and you talk to old timers, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Oh, you remember that commercial with the motorcycle, where it's just the motorcycle going along the country road, and every gear shift is just Rainier beer." And that's the commercial, right? You know, so very iconic. And anyway, I was very excited to learn that not only is there a documentary going to be made about this iconic local brand, all of the original master copies of these commercials have been or are currently being upgraded to 4K digital, and so they're being they're basically getting a new life. And so let's see here. Before we show this little video, Picola T, she knows the Rainier beer that I'm talking about, because these were big deal commercials. So without further ado, I'm going to show this little trailer for a video that you guys may or may not be as excited about as I am. But I am curious to know if any of y'all have seen or remember any of these ads from back in the day. Because most of us here, we're old enough. Whether or not it was published in your neck of the woods, different story. But we're all old enough that we might have seen these videos. Alrighty then, let's go.
You know, if you've lived in the Northwest for a while, chances are you remember one of the most successful ad campaigns ever seen here locally.
One of my favorites. It had to do with Rainier beer and some notorious characters called the elusive Rain Beers. Well, they're back.
It was 1978, and there was just something unforgettable about these two-legged beer bottle stars.
Audrey, look over there.
Where? Oh, a whole herd of Rainier beers.
Little did Rainier know their ad campaign would be a runaway hit, much like their runaway characters.
For decades, Rainier outsold Bud, Miller, and every other brand in the region. Nearly half the beer market in the Northwest belonged to Rainier.
You really have to understand where beer commercials were before these ads came along. They were serious, they were boring.
Now, all beers have the same 4 basic ingredients: malt, hops, yeast, water.
They're out there, Willis! Let's go!
The commercials were clever, original, and very Northwest.
Keeps your beer cold and mountain fresh in the blazing sun.
The action's picking up here at the brewway. There goes Big Red.
It was the perfect partner for Rainier Beer's own marketing strategies and Heckler Associates' freewheeling approach to the ideas.
We began to develop ideas that were contrarian to contemporary beer advertising.
What can you do? The Rainier Brewing Company knows you'll think of something.
Hey, Marlene, give me another beer.
Get it yourself, Bob!
It had to be just scattershot chaos, like Saturday Night Live, only actually we were all better writers.
We got to know each other really well because they became the Rainier crew. I would work with all those guys in a heartbeat. It was so much fun.
Rainier's current owners, now embrace its heritage and past, but the 1980s was this crazy period of mass consolidation within the industry.
The new owners of the Rainier Brewery have canned the agency that produced the ads.
I think that it's a mistake.
If they don't continue these ads, I'm never going to buy another Rainier.
Industry analysts say it is doubtful that Rainier beer will ever be what it once was, and the wild Rainiers will just be what they are now, a museum piece.
Well, we got a call from the PR person at Rainier, and that they had all of these archives and things. Could we come down and look? I went in, and there were pallets and pallets and pallets of film. And I brought all this stuff back, and I kept saying, how are we going to use this? Who is going to use this? I know somebody will. I just knew it was too good, too important. And it all gets used once you catalog it. I mean, there's a perception that museums just put stuff in the basement and never gets out. We make a really concerted effort to get things out. That's what it's all about, actually, finally. But it's in formats that we couldn't deal with. We were really forced to wait. And so when you came along, it's exactly what the doctor ordered. Then I had been waiting for 22 years for you. Bottom line is we're saving it. And through this project, we'll be making it available.
The simplicity, I mean, think about it. You say Rainier beer ads, 90% of the people, if you say it to, go
Rainier beer. Pretty simple, I guess. But by God, it was different.
Rainier beer.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Rick, you saw a film can titled Rainier Hawaii? In this video? Oh, interesting. I wonder what I did not notice the Rainier Hawaii. I wonder what that film was like. And yeah, so yeah, Darlene, thank you for appreciating the cool, silly commercials from back in the 70s and 80s. And so, like I said, I don't know if many of you were at all familiar with Rainier beer. I do know that back in its heyday, it was a very popular beer, even outside the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, exactly. Budweiser ripped off the Rainier frogs at the end of the motorcycle ad. You better believe it. Yes, Rainier was, a game changer when it came to the ads. And honestly, I would like to hope that Budweiser didn't realize that they were ripping off the Rainier frogs and they came by it naturally. But my best guess is that's not the case, especially since that was that video with the motorcycle towards the mountain, Mount Rainier, was, to this day, as they were saying in that clip, the most iconic. That ad ran for, I don't even know, probably a decade. I mean, it ran forever. And Belly Bear, hey, how you doing? We are talking about Rainier beer right now. And as Love Pat said, they had Rainier in Hawaii. I thought that they did have Rainier in Hawaii, Love Pat, because I know that when I lived in Hawaii back in the 70s, they had Olympia beer, and I was pretty sure I remember that R for the Rainier on the beer, on some cans that my dad was drinking as well. But my dad was an Oli man, basically, the Oli Olympia beer. So a lot of local beers definitely made it to Hawaii. And let's see here. And Darlene, oh, I love Darlene, what you're saying here. That's true, and the frog commercial was funny too, but not as good as the Rainier beers. There we go. That's right, you guys. I'm bringing you all over to the Pacific Northwest side, where everything's better in the mountains up here. And let's see here. You're going into party mode. What else can you do? Yeah, exactly, Pussycat. All right, so hopefully, I'm cheering a imaginary Rainier beer in your direction. I'm sure you don't have a Rainier, but there you go. Actually, Pussycat, what kind of beers does Florida have? Like a local beer, because like in the Pacific Northwest, we've got two of them that are sort of iconic. There's Olympia beer. It's in the water is the, catchphrase there. And then of course, Rainier. Does Florida have a local brewery? I know that like Texas has Lone Star and Pearl. And okay, so Pussycat, it's Land Shark. Okay. All right. And I would ask Rick and Darlene what their local beers are, but I'm not so sure we've got time for them to list them all. Well, with them being so close to Milwaukee and everything. But actually, though, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to ask Rick, Darlene, what are some of the breweries that are still hanging out in your neck of the woods? I can only assume, after some 80s consolidation, not everything is still there. But what are some of the local breweries that are still hanging on? And I don't mean the craft microbreweries. I mean like, just I mean the kind that might be a little bit like this. That's what I'm talking about. And yeah, Love Pat, Primo was not allowed in the house. For whatever reason, my parents did not like Primo beer. But I do know that they talked about it enough that even my little kid brain remembered that. And let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, and Picola tea, that's right. The Pennsylvania Chinese beer, Yunling or whatever. I was so surprised to learn that was from America. I always saw that label and just assumed it was, I just assumed that it was not, it was an import is what I'm trying to say, right? And oh no, you're in Milwaukee and they all left you except for Miller. All right, well, cheers to Miller for hanging out. Cheers to Miller for hanging out. I will tell you this, in the realm of water beer, if my Pabst isn't available, and then my second choice, which is Rainier, isn't available, I have to confess my third choice, the champagne of beers, Miller High Life. So, Miller, way to go. Glad you're sticking to Milwaukee. And Let's see here. Belly Bear, you remember watching the Rainier beers crossing the road commercials like they were deer? Yeah, they're the rain beer is apparently what they were really called. I didn't know that until I saw the trailer for the movie that I just showed you guys. I just always called them the Rainier beers, but no, they're actually rain beers, which is kind of clever, kind of clever. And let's see here. Pussycat, yeah, every place has a lot of craft breweries. That's why I was just like, let's not talk about that because we could go on for ages, right? And let's see here. Kenny from the Cove, Texas has Lone Star, Pearl. Oh, I forgot about Shinerbach. I've never heard of Ziegenbach. Never heard of that. Miller Lite they've got a Miller Lite in, wow, okay. They brew Miller Lite in Texas. I didn't know that. Whew. Let's see here. Darlene, you had Pabst Blue Ribbon up north past week. Not you though. There you go. And oh really? Okay, Ann, you've never had it, but Grain Belt beer is an old school iconic brew from Minnesota. Interesting. I have never heard of Grain Belt ever. Now I feel like I need to go down that little Minnesota beer rabbit hole because that and Miller Lite is brewed in Fort Worth. Got it. I remember when I was a little kid, the beer commercials that I liked the best when I lived in Hawaii, because this is before we moved to Washington, I really liked the Schlitz malt liquor bowl commercials where the bowl went running through the wall, sort of like the Kool-Aid Man but for adults. And I liked the Hamm's beer commercials because they were cartoons with a panda. I mean, I don't really know what that bear was supposed to be. That black and white bear, was he a panda? I don't know what he was supposed to be, but I love the Hamm's ones because they were cartoons. And let's see here. In Spokane, you had tomato juice poured into your beer. In England, they float lime juice. Yeah, a lot of Hispanic people really like, it's not just the tomato juice, it's Budweiser actually sells it in a can already mixed. It's like half Bloody Mary mix and half beer or something. I don't remember what they're called, so I'm not gonna tell you, but yeah, a lot of places do, I guess, what you'd call a beer cocktails. Apparently in Germany, it's very common on like the ski slopes to have beer with like orange juice or beer with lemonade, which seems weird, but you know, it might be good. And let's see here. Okay, now, Anne, I feel like I've heard of Schnell beer. I actually feel like I have heard of that. And let's see here, Picolati. Oh, the National Bohemian beer. That I feel like I had that when I was on the East Coast. I don't think you can get. I don't remember seeing it out here on the West Coast. But I feel like when I went and visited my sister in Rhode Island, we drank that. And let's see here. Rick, I might have tried that Grain Belt beer just a few times. Oh, right, of course, Love Pat. Golden, Colorado is, of all things, Coors. Exactly, I forgot about that. And, thank you, Cola Tea. Michelada, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. So let's see here. And yeah, okay, Belly Bear also. Mexico calls it a Michelada and spicy powder is put on the rim. Oh, okay, I didn't know about the spicy powder because I've just seen it in the cans, but that stands to reason. I mean, you know, yeah. And let's see here. What? Darlene, your grandpa used to crack an egg into his beer and drink it down? Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I'm going to do that. And then, okay, so Picola Tea is setting me straight. Picola Tea is like, it's not Bloody Mary mix, silly kitten. You're totally close but wrong. And so Michelada is beer with tomato juice cocktail, lime, and tagine. All right, there we have it. That makes much more sense than what I said because I'm fairly certain Bloody Mary mix isn't exactly what Mexican folk are like, yeah, I mean, like, they've got their tagine, they've got their own juice cocktail, of course. And, is it pronounced michelada? See, I don't know. I know nothing. And, let's see here. Oh, yeah, an egg and a beer. Yeah, no. Ooh, Kenny, you've had Guinness with an egg in it. Not a fan. Yeah, no, there are some fancy pants cocktails that call for egg white in it to get this silky texture and froth. And, no, I don't. No, I don't. And then adding a yolk on top of that makes me say, no, I don't. Even more. Really? I did not realize that Henry Weinhard's was from Portland. I mean, I guess now that you said that, I kind of remember the commercials alluding to that. But yeah, okay, you're right. Portland did have the Weinhards. And let's see here. But again, I didn't say it was good. Yeah, I think we can all agree that it probably wasn't that good. It's just maybe not that good. The bartender snuck that whole egg and didn't tell you about it. But what? So okay, Kenny. All right, now it's okay, Kenny. You've got some splaining to do, or rather, your bartender has some splaining to do. But so why did he do it? Was it a trick? Is it a drink that he wanted you to try? How did he tell you about it? The idea is making me very not happy, and so hold on there. I have to, no. Let's see here. Let's see here. Ramos Gin Fizz with egg whites. Yeah, there's a lot of, I actually have had, I finally forced myself, because there was this one drink at this one bar that everything except for the flippin' egg whites sounded good. So I was like, well, just try it. And I mean, I was able to drink it, but the mental, never again. And yeah, exactly, Pussycat. Put a flippin' shot of whiskey in the beer. That makes more sense. Although, actually, I don't really want the shot of whiskey in the beer. I'll take the shot and then with the beer chaser, to tell you the truth. Boilermaker is just too much, Boilermaker's too much stress, right? That's when you actually drop the shot glass. Okay, so actually, hold on. Oh, that's so cute. Let's see here, Belly Bear, your statement got held by the Autobot because it didn't like what your brother called it. But your brother used to mix lime juice, beer, and vodka in the 80s and call it a skip and go naked. I've heard of a skip and go naked. I didn't ever know what it was. But that beer, vodka, and lime juice, that actually sounds, you should probably keep that away from me, because vodka goes down a little too easy. And then, that could be dangerous. And let's see here. So Boilermakers, you guys, I have a question here. All right, so when you say put a shot in the beer, you don't mean, or do you mean, I have a shot of whiskey and now I am pouring it into the beer? Or do you mean, I have a shot of whiskey, I am dropping the shot of whiskey, the glass and all, into the beer, and then you're supposed to drink it? Because I've heard of it, I, for some reason, have it in my head that you're supposed to drop the whole shot glass, and then, because it's a Boilermaker, it gets all fizzy that way, right? Isn't that? Am I just making it? Okay, so Rick, you do drop the glass. Okay. And it's all right. Okay, so I'm not just making that up. Okay. So, yeah, I don't want to drink it like that because that's too much pressure and it's going to make me burp and it might make me throw fizz out my nose. So I'll just drink the shot and then I'll chase it with the beer. I don't know if I want a Boilermaker. I mean, not out of like principle, but just out of mess. And okay, frozen lime juice, undiluted. Nice. Okay, that's good. You know, speaking of frozen, whatever, undiluted, when I was a kid, I used to love to put frozen undiluted frozen orange juice, like Minute Maid, and mix it with ice cream. Oh, it's really good. Ice cream topping. I mean, I know it was like sugar upon sugar upon sugar, but still, it was good. Because, you know, sugar. All right, Love Pat, good to see you hanging out for a bit. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you can. Now get back to work. Now get back to work. Yep. Speaking of work, today I did have some things that I had to do. It is getting to be a bit of a tax season deadline situation. So this this show is definitely, shall we say, this show today has deserves the half-fast emote. I had every intention of coming up with things and stuff, and yeah, not a whole lot of things and stuff have come up. So we are definitely going to be flying by the seat of our pants here, going wherever the topic scatters. And Rick, Boilermakers are harder to do when drinking from the can. That's a good point. You'd have to have a really tiny glass to put it in the, to put it in the thing. But speaking of drinking stuff from a can, though. Oh, thank you so much, Anne. Yeah, I'm trying to help people deal with their tax stuff and things, even though I really wish the tax deadline could be over. And I really wish that some things that our former president has said is actually true. Like, if you just think it, you can make it so. Because if that was the case, I would be thinking so hard that the tax season was over and completed and everything's done right now. That's all I want. I'm just thinking it. It must be so, right? So, yeah, anyway. Okay, Rick, hold on. Depending on what proof of liquor you use, a Boilermaker style drink can also be referred to as a depth charge. I've never heard of that, but that does make sense. And let's see here. So now, Kenny, so like what? If it's 80 proof, then it's a Boilermaker, but if it's 100 proof, it's a depth charge? Or do you have to go up to like the 151? Tell me more about this depth charge thing. And Darlene, thank you so much for looking on the bright side. Well, we've learned about beers and Boilermakers, making sure that Pussycat's all safe, so there we go. Yes, it's been a quality stream so far. Nothing but you know, information about how to do things you have to be over 21 for. And there you have it. And then also all the proof that you want that putting egg whites or egg yolks in booze is just weird. I think the Statterbox crew might everybody disagrees on some things, but I think we might have come to an agreement here. We've done some important work today. And we've done some important work today. And that is egg whites probably don't belong in alcohol. And let's see here. Rick, you know what? I'm having Twitch issues too. I am not able to do any name autofills with mine either. So I do think there is something twitchy about Twitch today. But obviously it's still good enough because Pussycat is still A, with power, and B, still connecting to the Twitch, which is awesome. Poppy Shaney, good to see you back. We are talking about beers and Boilermakers and whether or not eggs should be in beers or other alcohols. And so there you have it. And, okay, so it sounds like then Missy was talking about it earlier too. So it sounds like everything is a little twitchy today on Twitch. All right, you guys. So maybe the gear can't exactly solve everything. Because I'll tell you, dude, right now, when I just made that, you know, this little movement. Yes, when I made that movement, there's like some weird tracer action going on my screen. I don't know if you guys are seeing it on your feed, but on my screen, I look weird. And Pussycat Eggnog, well, now, that's a tricky one, my friend, because let me tell you, everybody knows there's egg in eggnog, so that's fair. And there seems to be a huge population of people who like eggnog, but you can have all of mine. We'll just leave it at that. You can have all of mine. All of my eggnog. But you're right. We did important work here, but we still have a disagreement. Eggnog, some people, yep, all right. Egg with booze. You're right. And let's see here. Picola tea. Did you mean to... Picola tea, you know what? I'm maybe thinking I'm going to remove that message. I don't know who you meant to send that to, but I don't like it being online like that. Sorry, Picola tea. Let's see here. Okay. Well, shite. How can I do this? Hey, Rick, is there any way that you could... Thank you. Because I was not in mod mode yet. And yeah, hey, Picola T, I will... Yeah, I thought you meant to whisper that. I didn't... Yeah, I thought you meant to whisper that. So, thank you, Rick. And okay, Poppy Shaney, it was for you, and you just took a screenshot. Awesome. Good. There we go. Yeah. Yes, so for everybody's safety, try not to post things that you don't want the world to see online. But, yeah, exactly, Jason. It was like, no, we gotta fix this. Yeah. But we generally will try and have your back and try to get it off the screen as soon as we can. So yeah, we all want everybody to be safe. And we all know that we have all made the wrong, we've all typed the wrong things into the wrong square, right? Everybody has made that mistake, and it's a heart-stopping, horrifying event. Luckily, this is a good community. And Kenny, let's see here. Drink related to Boilermakers is the Irish car bomb. A shot of Irish cream and whiskey dropped into a Guinness. I have heard of that. Hey, Pussycat, if you want me to mod you up, I won't right now because I'm not in it, but I can mod you up. I have no problem throwing in more mods. And Kenny, you typed it again. And I know what you mean. And I'm loving this particular error that you're making. This is so funny. Don't worry, everybody's typed the wrong thing in the wrong box at one point or another. We all have that mistake. Oh my goodness. That is so flippin' hysterical. So, yeah, exactly. Auto Carrot got you twice. Exactly. Well, Kenny, I think I mentioned this on the last stream that we all had together. On Andy's stream, I was typing something about a shirt with an R, a shirt. Only my finger didn't type the R. And yeah, Andy was like, yeah, we're going to show this online. So yeah, everybody got to see my comment about a shirt. Let's see here. Pussycat, excellent, awesome, good. After this stream, once I get into my back catalogs, my back controls is actually the word I'm looking for, I'll get you modded up. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Because, yeah, basically, if anybody does feel the need to want to be a mod for me, I have no problem modding you guys up. Because right now, we've got a couple people doing the heavy lifting. And honestly, I don't want everybody to feel like, oh my God, I'm going to be the only one here. I have to be here, blah, blah, blah. Because let me tell you, man, life gets in the way. And so the more, the merrier. And then, everybody can be here when they can. And if they can't, there you go. No big deal, because somebody else can be here. It's sort of the Photo Luke method of modding. He's got a quadrillion mods, and he knows that at least one person's going to be able to show up, so everything's going to be good. And, yeah, Pussycat, luckily, the need for things is so few and far between. Why did I just say that? I just invited a whole world of hurt to our little safety zone here. Sorry. But, Yeah, but normally, you know, you've seen it. There's not a whole lot of much to go around, but sometimes when one of our own makes a mistake, we gotta cover their back. And so let's see here. Snorkel is what we've got. Okay, you guys, that is it. Yes, snork is the sound of doing the Jello shot. That is exactly right. Snork. And that has been an approved word not only by the Statterbox crew, but I went and ran it by the crew at the bar that I go to, because on football games they have Jello shots, and so we discussed snork, and everyone agrees that yes, snorking Jello shots is the official way to consume them. That is exactly it. So, speaking of the little bar that I go to, that we all decided it was going to be, you know, Snork is what it is. And let's see here. Belly Bear. Okay, if anyone likes eggnog, a good bottled eggnog is Pennsylvania Dutch. It creeps up on you. That sounds gross, but I know that lots of people love eggnog, so this is a good tip right there. Pennsylvania Dutch. And yes, and where the bartender approved. Not only the bartender approved, the bartender who made the Jello shots is the one who approved. So yes, Poppy Shaney, someone did say Jello shots. And I don't think you were here a few streams ago when we all discussed the term for consuming Jello shots. Because, you know, you don't eat them with a spoon. You kind of snork them out of the little cup. So yeah, it's snork. Now we're going to need a Jello shot emote. Rick, you bring up a good point. And because I'm such a space cadet, I'm writing things down. Jello shot emote. That is a good plan. All right, now, the bartender that agreed that we were right works at a bar called Waku, and I'm going to show you this quick little video that, see, Honda, you know, the Prel does look a little bit like a Jello shot. If you don't know better, actually, that could be a dual use, couldn't it? But yeah, so I'm going to show you a little video that I made of the Chinese food restaurant bar that I go to. And then I'm going to show you Wisconsin's version of that. That's right, because I got some pictures from Rick and Darlene. So right now, we're going to look at the video of the bar, the bar that approves of snorking. This is what it looks like. All right, so hey Rick, I actually didn't get any videos. So now that I know that eMusic sent me a video, I'm gonna go looking for it, but I'm actually not talking about a video. The pictures that I'm talking about, I got from Darlene. So, Belly Bear, are you hungry for Chinese food? That's awesome, because I know of a great place in Wisconsin to get some Chinese food. And this is the great place to get the Chinese food. And I know this because Darlene and eMusic and Rick went there and had a delicious meal, from what I understand. And I'll tell you what, I would eat that fried rice in a heartbeat. And the thing that I like most about this restaurant is that it's been around, first off, since 1978. So it's not there. So it's not so new, but it's also not so old. And this is the video or the picture that I really like. And it is this massive painting that's like sort of a relief or whatever. And yeah, it was I really would love to see that particular piece of art in real life, because I'll tell you what, man, Chinese food restaurants sometimes have some of the most impressive art, and I really loved that that huge, I wouldn't call it a painting because it's 3D, but that huge piece of art. So we've got beef and broccoli, cashew shrimp, egg foo young, yum yum yum, and let's see here. I think though, wasn't there also some kind of chow mein in the mix, perhaps? I'm not sure. And let's see here. That's probably the beef and broccoli, and that looks like the shrimpy shrimps. But it looks like, isn't there some noodles? Isn't that some noodles that I'm looking at right there? Some chow mein? I love me some chow mein and some fried rice. And that fried rice looks like good fried rice. I am very, 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 very picky about my fried rice, and that looked like good fried rice. So that is part of what Rick and Darlene did this while they were out and about getting all frosted out up there up north. And yeah, Southwest Florida is in a very bad spot right now, but luckily Pussycat is not quite there yet. But it sounds like since the beginning of the stream, the winds have increased from 50 to 60, and that is to be expected, but still not making me happy. Andre, thank you for the 400 biddies. Thanks for coming on in today. I don't know if you can hear me, because I don't know if you're on the train coming home from work or if you're already at home. But good to see you here. One of the usuals coming in. And yes, that was a huge 3D-like sculpture art. And it was chicken chow mein. Perfect. And C Honda, oh my goodness, thank you for the 200 biddies. Now, okay. We just got to see some of the yumminess that Rick and Darlene, and I believe eMusic was involved in that as well, got to eat. But you know what? That's not all that they ate. That's right, because we know that in Wisconsin, we know this because we've already talked about this. We know that in Wisconsin, they've got this thing called a butter burger. And we happen to know that I love burgers, and we happen to know that butter makes everything better. So doesn't it make sense that a butter burger would just be a better burger, baby? That's right. And they went to Culver's, where you can make your own butter burger. And somebody did make their own butter burger, and that, I think, is what eMusic had. It looks like a double cheeseburger with onion rings. Sign me up right there. That is Culver's in all of its glory, thanks to Rick and Darlene and eMusic sending all of these pictures to make our tummies rumble just a little bit. And that burger, I'm telling you right there, I've got family in Wisconsin. I know people in Wisconsin, but that burger is what's going to bring me to Wisconsin. No offense, all y'all, but it's the burger that's bringing me over there. It is the burger that's bringing me to Midwest. Holy crumb. Yeah, that looked like a good burger. I'll tell you what. So, yeah, exactly. Belly Bear. I'm hungry now. Yeah, I think we're all hungry usually by the end of these streams. Because, everybody eats, and so what are we gonna talk about? Food. That's what we got everybody to, everybody's got that in common. It took you 2 days to eat it. I'm not actually surprised at all. Especially since those onion rings looked really good. And so you can't really, leave onion rings for leftovers. So if I'm going to leave something for a leftover, it's going to be the burger, because the burger is going to be good no matter what. And but those onion rings, got to eat those hot. So yeah, totally, dude. And oh my goodness, Doe, how are you? Boy, you have been out and about, dude. I mean, you have, it's been a long time since we have seen you here. And unfortunately, I am unable to scroll and get back to what it is that you'd said. So hold on. Poppy Shaney, thank you so much for sending out a gift. And why can't I trying to get back to oh my goodness. I cannot see anything anymore. Everything is all messy. Okay, Poppy Shaney, thank you so much for the biddies. And unfortunately, what just happened? My chat just did something very weird. So I'm a little bit confused about things and stuff. There we go. Okay. Andre coming in with more biddies. Thank you so much. The folks on the train. The folks on the train. So everybody have a great day. All right. See you laters. And Pussycat. Yeah. If the power goes out, lots of barbecuing for you. Yep. So Doe, I can't find what you were saying, but about your family, etc. But I'm so stoked that you're here for today, and I hope we get to. Here we go. You've been out of touch. You have family in Wisconsin. You love Wisconsin. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've got family too. But I'll tell you what, that burger might get me there. Although, Ann, you said there's a Culver's in Minnesota. I might have to go on a Midwest burger trip, and Kenny from the Cove, double cheeseburger and onion rings. Leftovers from that? I'm just not grasping the core concept. Yeah, it's like, I know what all of those words mean individually, but when you put them together like that, I just don't understand. That is funny. Yep. Oh, awesome, Rick. Thank you so much for that gift sub that got that you gave out a little bit ago. It got caught in the weirdness of my scroll. Sorry there. Oh, and you had the custard later on. Oh, yum. Frozen custard is some of my favorite stuff, but you might know that from looking at my body size because, you know, people who love frozen custard generally aren't this skinny. They're this skinny. And Picola T, you're halfway through your burger fries rating chart. Some losers, some winners. Okay, good to know. You know, some places though, you might, now the losers, are you gonna maybe go back and see if they had like an off day? Because I know that there are some restaurants that it's just like, they have a really good product and then some days you go there and it's just like, well, Jethro, what were you doing back there? This is not that good. Why did you not do that? So I'm just wondering, Picola T, the losers, are they gonna get, you know, a second? Nope, the losers will still be losers. All right, then. There you go. Oh, Rick, thank you so much for that extra gift sub to Cindy. And let's see here. Why can't I do things? Yeah, they're going on kind of a burger rating tour, C Honda. It's kind of awesome. And so let's see here. Oh, you were still full from that? Yeah, that makes sense. That actually totally makes sense. And oh no, what did I just do? Uh-oh. All right, you guys, you're watching me do things and stuff that, yeah, I don't know what, oh no. What did I just do? I'm trying to get the chat back, you guys, cause, oh no, wait, is it? Hold on, you guys. I might have done something that I've been wanting to do for a long time now, but couldn't figure out how to do it. All right, here we go. I don't know what I just did, but I fixed some of it. Anne, am I in mod view? No, I'm not in mod view. I'm actually running straight through OBS right now. I don't even have my Twitch open. So yeah. Sorry for that technical difficulty at the moment there. So Pacola, you've eaten at the national chains. Now you're working through the locals. Nice. And yeah, Darlene, I bet you were stuffed that day between the Chinese food, the burger, and the custard. That sounds like, it sounds like you better. I hope you had a good nap that night, I hope you slept very well that night. And let's see here. All right, let's see here. What have we got going on? Yeah, eMusic, you couldn't finish the burger because you were still full from Chinese food. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And let's see here. You're right, actually. The picture is more clear and a little bit more steady. And oh, nope, I still see the tracers, though. Oh, well. And, exactly, Darlene. You have to bring home the leftover Chinese and then have it for lunch the next day. And oh no, Rick, yeah, you had to drive home, snoozing at the wheel, you get pulled over. The cop's like, how much have you had to drink? And it's just like, you're asking the wrong question. How much have I had to eat? I want to take a nap. That's the problem, officer. And you don't see any tracers. Good. I think it's a my system thing. So I'm glad that not everybody's seeing weirdness when I do this. Let's see here. Great though it is, the best burger in Texas isn't Whataburger. I'm not surprised, frankly. Let's see here. The best double cheeseburger in Texas is at a place in San Antonio on Military Drive at the Longhorn Malt Shop. Eating their double cheeseburger and onion rings is just nirvana. Well, frankly, I'll tell you what. Any place that is called a malt shop, dude, you better believe I'm going to go eat their burger there. I'm going to like their burger. I'm going to try their burger. Their burger is going to be delicious. And there you have it. And there you just have it. So I'm not at all surprised that Whataburger has nothing on a place that has malt shop in its name. And Darlene, we did sleep well that evening. Well, yeah, with all the walking and visiting, etc., etc. Oh, Belly Bear, I like your idea. Blame the tracers on the hurricane. Of course, I'm literally on the other side of the country from the hurricane, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to blame the tracers on the hurricane because that's just how that works. And Rick, no cops, just side roads. Good plan. And let's see here. Pussycat, your barbecue burger is awesome. You had onion and garlic in the meat. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. My mom used to always use, that stuff. I don't buy it very often, so I can't remember what it is. Lipton's onion soup mix. The dried Lipton's onion soup mix. She would always mix like a half a packet of that in with the hamburger meat, and that was always pretty good. But garlic, well, now sign me up for that burger because garlic is delicious. And the best burger in the world is still your dad's. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so lovely. Yeah, my dad's burgers were not the best. My dad definitely had a knack for making patties this big that shrunk into patties that were like this big but this tall, and with the bun much bigger than the tall, skinny patty. So, Rick, thank you so much for the 300 bits. That's super awesome. And Kenny, okay, yeah, you just noticed the tracers. It's not, no, I don't think it's another I thing. Like, truly, I think it's a thing. It's not you. It's the magic fingers, man. Yeah, no, it's not. If it keeps happening after you leave this stream, then get concerned. But as long as it's happening right now, I honestly wouldn't be that concerned if I were you. Because I think it's Twitch being twitchy, or me being twitchy, whatever. Now, Anne, just out of curiosity, what is it? Oh, before I even get the question out, she's all, let me tell you why my dad's burger is best. So your dad uses prime beef, and it was like 80 years of grilling, so yeah, the best. But what else does he do? Like, does he do anything? Like, does he use a little, salt and pepper? Does he use, like, some onion powder? Does he use, like, what? Does he have a special... Oh, he puts just the tiniest little bit of ketchup in with the burger before he makes the patties. Or, what? Does he have Does he have a secret that makes the burgers delicious that you're allowed to share online? And I guess, because I know that if he's got a secret to his burger, he might not want you to talk about it. So, if you're not allowed to talk, don't, but I still want to know. Cindy, what's the tracer thing? Some people are noticing sort of a lag or like, weird effect when I on my screen right now, when I see my hand move like that, there's weird tracers that come from it. And trust me, it's not a flashback. And so other people are saying that they are seeing them too. Other people aren't having that effect. So I think it's a Twitch thing. So if you're not noticing it, good, actually. Totally good. And yes, Leon Pear in Worcestershire and teriyaki is always a good thing to make your burgers. And you make your patty like meatloaf, except you fry or barbecue the patty. Yep, there you go. Yeah, Leon Perrin's in beef is just super good. Another thing that's really good is in beef. Now, I'm not saying to put this in your hamburgers, but if you're like making some sort of glaze or a sauce or whatever, or you're braising a piece of beef, black coffee and beef, work together beautifully. And let's see here. And he used to get the ground beef at a local butcher, but now he orders Allen Brothers burgers since Prime is harder to find. Got it. And Darlene, so you do salt, pepper, minced onion, and maybe some chives and parsley. Yeah, that's the total basic. And honestly, sometimes the total basic is really all you need. And so Belly Bear, though, got the salt and pepper, egg, and breadcrumbs, right, like the meatloaf. That's how my mom makes the meatloaf as well. The breadcrumbs and the egg. But I don't think my mom, I know she put egg in her hamburgers, but I don't think there was any breadcrumbs. That I think was for the meatloaf. But I also know I might be making that up. Let's see here. See Honda, anyone does the local style of hamburger, has onions and breadcrumbs in the meat. Well, some people have it. Let's see here. So, and he has a secret ratio of salt, pepper, and dried herbs, but in the past he used to use Andrea's sauce. Well, I don't know what Andrea's sauce is, so I'm gonna have you tell me a little bit more about that. And then, fresh tomatoes, pickle slices, etc. for the toppings, of course. All right, Kenny, you've got the salt, the pepper, diced onions, garlic powder, and egg for binder. Yeah, 80-20 ground beef. Oh yeah, you always have to have the 80-20. Like, that's just a given. Yeah, that sounds like a good one too, and very similar to what I use, although I oftentimes just don't bother with the egg. So let's see here. The Andrea's Steakhouse sauce was a marinade that they might not make anymore. Okay. I'm gonna go look that up because I am all saucy like that. And Rick, does anyone, in response to C Honda, does anyone have a local style hamburger? Blah blah blah. No, not here, but I'd like to, please. You got it. E-music. At a drive-in in Waianae, they added shredded carrots to the hamburgers, and now you do that too. Okay. Belly Bear, your mom had to put the breadcrumbs. There were 9 of us. Yeah, that makes sense. Extend the meat just a little bit. But hold on, E-music. Now, when you say added shredded carrots to the hamburgers, do you mean in the meat or do you mean on top? And if you mean in the meat, I'm very, very curious. And let's see here. Pussycat, you just have a way of using all of the wrong words that the Autobot catches. But you're all good in our hood. But the Stream Elements was like, I don't know if this weather talk is weather talk or not. So yeah, you're pounding off the ocean. Definitely caught the eyebrow of the Autobot. But another harsh rain bane is pounding us off the ocean. You're monitoring the radar too. Yeah. And okay, E-music, it's in the burgers. Okay. All right. And your grandma used to only put Vidalia onions on her burgers. Super sweet. Oh. Oh, Pussycat, don't worry about it. I think it's really funny because as soon as I saw who it was, I was like, oh, I didn't even see what you wrote. It was just like, I'm sure it's fine. And then when I saw what you wrote, I was like, oh, silly Autobot. That's so silly. And Anne, Vidalia onions on her burgers, super sweet for sure. Has your grandma or has anyone, has she ever tried a Maui sweet onion? Has she ever tried a Walla Walla sweet onion? Because I can tell you right now, the sweet onion rivalry between the Maui sweets, the Vidalias, and the Walla Walla sweets is really, it can get a little heated. See, Pussycat, Maui onion! See? And for me, Walla Walla Sweet is the way to go because it's the freshest. It's the easiest one to get get in my neck of the woods. And so I just have to wonder, if she ever got into an argument with somebody about why her Vidalias were better than those Mauis and Walla Wallas. Ugh, why would you even bother with something from the West Coast? Because I know Vidalia onion lovers, they love them Vidalias. You got it. Don't even get me started. Like if someone here was from Georgia and I even mentioned the word Walla Walla sweets, why there might be fisticuffs. And let's see here. Lately, you've also added the Johnny's seasoning salt that I sent you to your burger mix. The Johnny's seasoning salt. There's a place, we've actually talked about Johnny's here on this stream, but there's a restaurant in Fife outside of Tacoma called Johnny's, and they have some seasoning salt that basically is a staple in every Pacific Northwest kitchen. And it's not as salty or seasoned as Lowry's. It's its own animal. And you can put it on anything, and it's like, yeah, that adds some good flavor. And Pussycat, you haven't had an onion until you've had a Maui onion. And I am not even surprised, Anne, that your grandma could eat a Vidalia like an apple. Lots of people have laid claim to being able to do that. Yeah, exactly, Picola T. Grilled Walla Walla sweets on the onion burgers at the Puyallup Fair are to die for. Yep, like I said, man, I'm telling you, every region's got their own. We got a sweet one, sweeter than yours. We got a sweet one, sweeter than yours. Belly Bear. Oh, I've never thought of doing that. Wrapping it in foil, a whole onion, and then just putting it in your hot charcoal on the barbecue. That sounds delicious. That sounds wonderful. Pussycat, your daughter works for Outback and she just got a bloomin' onion. Yum, yum. Wait, hold on. When you say she just got a bloomin' onion, are you telling me that she's just now finishing her shift at work and that she is at work at her work and she got a bloomin' onion? And now you have to go pick her up? Because I know that sometimes you pick her up for things like cookies or bloomin' onions. Please don't tell me she's at work. I mean, she doesn't work at Waffle House, for God's sake. Speaking of which, is your Waffle House still open? Is your local Waffle House still open? And, see, Honda, actually, I love raw onions on burgers too, but to tell you the truth, I like both raw and grilled onions on burgers, right? And, let's see here. Belly Bear for potatoes. Chop them up, put them in foil with chunks of butter. Anything you put in foil with chunks of butter is going to be good. Fold it up like a package and place it on the grill. Turn it once. Okay, I'll do that. And yeah, Cindy Krause, exactly. I am of the same opinion as you are, which is Maui, Vidalia, and Walla Wallas are all similar. They make the best onion rings ever. But when you have folks from Georgia, or have folks from Maui, or have folks from Walla Walla in the same room, they won't admit it. They won't admit they're all just as good as the other one. They all think that it's the best. And oh my God, Pussycat, she just got off at 6 p.m. All right then. Wow. And let's see here. Speaking of foil wrap veggie, your brother-in-law comes out a whole cabbage head, throws a stick of butter. Wait, hold on. Throws a stick of butter with garlic, wraps it in foil, and throws it on the barbecue. So yum. That does sound good. 'Cause, I really like a good cabbage. I like cabbage cooked better than raw. I'm not a huge fan of slaw. It all depends on the sauce, basically, with the slaw. But cabbage is really good. I've never, but I don't think of barbecuing a cabbage. Like, that never would have ever occurred to me. And now I'm assuming he chops it up, right? And then the butter and everything. He doesn't just put the whole head, wrap it in foil, right? He doesn't just do that. So let's see here. Kenny, here in Texas, they have 1015 onions, a sweet white onion grown in the Rio Grande Valley. It's your go-to onion for just about everything you use onions for. Don't think you can get them outside of Texas. Yeah, I've never heard of a 1015 onion. So now I'm going to have to look into that because, okay. And I know, Anne, Waffle Houses being opened or closed is actually used as a measure for how bad the hurricanes are. That's why I asked him, is your Waffle House still open? That's exactly why I asked him. And yeah, your wife Sherry was pretty mad that they made her come in today. I kind of agree. I'm not trying to be all uppity and in your family's business, but I'm getting all uppity and in your family's business. And let's see here. Belly Bear, oh, you forgot to add the chopped onions to the potato foil package. The onions are we knew what you meant. And exactly, Kenny, fried cabbage is so versatile and so ono. And so everything is closed early today, except for the Outback, apparently. And exactly, Darlene, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? And wow, okay, so Picola tea, he wraps the entire head, just cord, and throws it on the grill. Turns out tender. Okay. So when you say he's got the butter and stuff, does he stuff the butter and stuff in where the core was? And yeah, that's right. I'm asking these questions for research. Yeah, scientific research. That's why I'm asking these questions. Scientifical researches is scientifical. Puzzy, you don't know if Waffle House was open in Daytona tonight. All right. Well, my best guess is if Outback was, then Waffle House probably was too. Okay, yep, stuffs the butter stick and butter into the puka. Okay, I'm glad we had this conversation, because the funny thing is I don't have a barbecue, but I do have a head of cabbage, and I do have an onion, and I might be able to figure out a way to, it won't be as good as on the barbecue, but I feel like I might be able to do something with that. I know, Darlene, doesn't that sound good and so simple? Please, could it be any more simple? Core it, stuff it, wrap it, put it on the grill. Wow, E-Music. One year your Hawaii bank stayed open when hurricane was just offshore. I guess what? They didn't want people looting the bank or something? Wow. And there's a curfew at 8 statewide. Yeah, well, okay. Well, so, Pussycat, if there's a curfew, then Waffle Houses have to shut, right? I know that Florida Man does what Florida Man wants to do, but if there's a curfew, then the Waffle Houses are gonna be shut at 8, right? Or, right? Like I said, Florida Man does what Florida Man wants to do, so it seems like the answer would be yes, right, but I don't know. Yeah, Cindy Krause, got to do a test myself. I don't have a barbecue, just use the oven. That's exactly the plan. That is exactly the plan. And let's see here. A lot of your times you'll fry some cabbage as part of your traditional New Year's Day dinner. Wow, I don't have a traditional New Year's Day dinner. It was Home Street Bank, based in Seattle. Well, then clearly they have no idea about hurricanes or anything, because we don't get those very often here. Ever, actually, but I said very often because I didn't want to tempt it. And, so let's see here. And the cabbage heads were in the grill with the whole hog for half a day, so no wonder they turned out tender. Yeah, and no wonder, the hog essences probably got in the that just sounds tasty. And so let's see here. Anne, using the Waffle House Index, 21 Waffle Houses have shut in Florida so far. That's serious. I think that's serious. And, daughter too, good to see you. And yes, bringing in the mention of Johnny's seasoning. Exactly, just add some Johnny's to the cabbage. Precisely, yep, it's perfect for that. Just enough flavor to help bring out the cabbage flavor, but not too much flavor to over salt or over season it, as it were. And, okay, right, Darlene. See, I wouldn't have thought about that. Just put the high heat like on the barbecue, of course. So it wouldn't just be like a 350. You'd be like on a 475. Right, that makes sense. And yeah, get some liquid smoke. I don't think I have any, but I know where to make some. I know how to get some. And eMusic, I'm glad that you sent him a text scolding him for keeping the Hawaii branch open, because honestly, that is really stupid and unsafe. I'm speaking as somebody who's never had to live with the hurricane or deal with the hurricane, but to me, it seems like stupid and unsafe to have your bank open while a hurricane is just offshore. That's me. That's right. I'm up on a soapbox again. You can never get me off a soapbox. I know. Yet another soapbox. But, Rick, yes, another project. Fix the grill before winter. How about baby? Oh, yep, there you go. Yep, now Darlene wants some barbecued grilled cabbages. And let's see here, New Year's Day dinner, pork chops, cooked anyway, black-eyed peas, fried cabbage, or sauerkraut, and German potato salad. All right. Oh, Darlene coming in with a great idea. Or we can get a new one, Rick. Actually, you know what, Rick? Darlene might have a good idea there, because I can only assume that at this time of year is when the barbecues are probably going to be like super cheap, right? Or the grills, whatever you want to call them, you know. So instead of fixing yours, maybe Darlene, go do a secret squirrel shopping thing and, see if you can get a good deal on one. Because this would be the time of year for the cheaper one, right? Bacola tea, exactly. 'Tis the season for a new grill. Or at least to go shopping for one, right? I mean, am I the only one? And, oh yeah, eMusic. For those of us who don't have a grill, we definitely need the extra ideas. And I'm super stoked about the pro tip, like, barbecues are really hot, so be sure to turn the heat up, because I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have been, 8 hours later, my cabbage would have just been this dehydrated clump because I put it on at 350 or something instead of the 500 that it needed to be. So it just dried out instead of cooked. That's exactly it, Daughter 2. It's like asking Seattle people to come to work when it's snowing. No, we're not going to do it. Yes, Darlene, see, a lot of them are on clearance now. So I'm just sprinkling some suggestions to the peoples. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but I'm just sprinkling some seeds of ideas for the peoples. And Pussycat, I gotta tell you, I'm really stoked that you have lasted this whole hour and a half. And there's an infrared grill for indoors. That does sound weird. All right, then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bacola tea. There you go. Pork shoulder, plenty of salt, a few drops of liquid smoke. Wrap it in foil, stick it in the oven. I think, and and ta-da, Kalua pig. I think actually, now Cindy, you're gonna have to come in here and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Cindy does something very similar, only she wraps hers in banana leaves. But I might be wrong, which is why I'm asking Cindy to, tell us the real deal. Because Cindy knows what Cindy does. I only think I might know what Cindy does. And Belly Bear, you're good with the little Smoky Joe Weber. Yeah, or a small hibachi. I have actually been thinking about getting hibachi myself, but alas, I have not. And, okay, so Cindy Krause, you have a clay pot that you dial in water and then fill and cook in the oven. You wrap pork in banana leaves with a little alea salt, 3-4 drops of liquid smoke. There we go. All right, and so, eMusic, you just put yours in the crock pot using green bananas. All right, you guys. Well, all right, we're gonna have to continue this. We're gonna have to continue this liquid smoke topic and conversation on another day, because it is already past the past the bottom of the hour. Super stoked. super stoked that Pussycat has lasted as long as he has here with us. And Kenny from the Cove, wouldn't a new grill be just as expensive now since it's the football tailgating season? Kenny, probably not. Here's the deal. You live in the South, they live in the North. Two very different situations. I'm thinking, as Darlene said, that this is the clearance season for things. It's not as many people in Wisconsin are out tailgating with their barbecue or their grill like they are in Texas. So that's just my guess, but I also don't know what I'm talking about, which I think we all know. And let's see here. Oh, Rick's been looking. No money breaks yet. Well, I have it. Darlene's gonna find it. I just know that Darlene's gonna find one. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank the dogs for Pussycat having the power as long as he did and will. Thank you guys for the bits, the subs, the gift subs, the everything, and most importantly, thank you guys for the chat. Could not do this without everybody here, and so it makes me so happy that we can hang out. And this Saturday, Satterbox at the Cinema, we're going to be watching Beetlejuice, 6 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and 8 p.m. for our Central Time folk. Alrighty, you guys, take care. Have yourselves a good one.